Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about how happiness is deeply connected to our psychology and mindfulness. Our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors all play a role in our overall sense of well-being. So mindfulness is actually the practice of being present and fully engaged in the moment you are experiencing, and it can eventually help you create and cultivate a positive mindset and improve your overall psychological well-being. Now, research has shown that mindfulness practices like meditation, yoga, they all can reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety, increase positive emotions in your head, improve overall life satisfaction, and give you peace in real time. By paying attention to your thoughts and emotions without judgment, you can learn to let go of negative patterns and cultivate a more positive outlook on life and happiness in general. Now, positive psychology is another field that focuses on the study of human well being and happiness, but it emphasizes the importance of positive emotions, relationships, and personal strengths in promoting your well being. As a happiness coach, the only focus we are going to present right now is generating happiness on your own and not actually have to rely on somebody else to give you that peace of mind. So, our mindset is going to be a very big character in this whole arena. It's going to play a crucial role in our happiness, and by adopting to a growth mindset, which is the belief that our abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work, we can increase our motivation and resilience. On the other hand, a fixed mindset, which is the belief that our abilities are predetermined and cannot be changed, that what we are doing is something that is already destined. This can lead to a lack of motivation and lower level of happiness. So we always need to have a connection with our thoughts. We need to know that everything we are thinking, everything that we have in our psychology can be adapted, can be modified using mindfulness practices. And by cultivating these habits, these tools into our daily life and focusing on our personal strengths and positive emotions, we can increase our overall sense of happiness. Now, when we talk about finding happiness, this is not something you can actually do in a few seconds or minutes or even hours. So, finding happiness is a lifelong effort, and it takes time, it takes adaptation along the way throughout your life, developing habits, developing mindfulness tricks that help you actually achieve the peacefulness and happiness in your life. And while there are no rules about how to be happy, many people who have actually achieved the level of blissfulness in their mind and have found success with these methods have outlined their ideas and presented them as something the general public can follow on. Now, in this video, I'm only going to talk about the very common basic 10 tips that you can use to find and live a happy life. The first thing we are going to talk about is recognizing that you have choices. So you cannot prevent your head, you cannot prevent your brain into tackling all the difficulties that you are encountering in life. You have to accept the fact that there are good and bad things in life, and you can control how you respond to them. You always have the option to analyze things before you speak, to understand things before you pass them out, and you'll notice that you'll be more content once you start to see happiness as a choice rather than as a feeling that develops on its own and that only some people with fortune can enjoy. So if you start to analyze things that you have around you in your head, some things that you talk about, things that you think about, you are going to experience happiness as a choice more often than you normally do. The second tip that you can follow is practicing gratitude. That even during the most difficult life experience, whether be it something of a failure, if you are going through a life situation, a death situation, a family issues, or anything, you need to know that there are still things in life you should be grateful for, acknowledging what is good in your life and what is still there in the present with you is a very essential step in learning how to live a happy life. So you need to practice gratitude. Once in a while, you need to sit down with yourself and think about the things that you have in your life right now that you are happy about, that you do not want to lose, and the things you still want to hold on to, and find the peace and gratitude you feel in your heart when you think about these things. The third tip is forgiveness. Now, a lot of the times, the lack of happiness is often stemming from another emotion that you have hidden away in your heart, and that is anger towards other things or yourself because of something that has happened in your life, or anger towards other people because of something they did to you. And this can be a significant burden in your life, and it can affect you, it can damage your sense of acceptance of situations in your life. So you need to accept that if you cannot change it, you don't need to hold it in your heart. If there's things that have happened that you cannot change or undo now, you cannot do anything about it now, instead of holding that grudge, you can let it go. And once you let go of that anger, you may begin to learn how to be happy with yourself again. The fourth tip that we are going to talk about, as I mentioned before, is mindfulness. So when we talk about mindfulness, we need to be aware of the roles our thoughts are playing in our head and how it's affecting the quality of our daily life. We need to start focusing on the bad things, the negative emotions, the angers, the feelings that you have in your head that are actually destructive. You need to figure those feelings out, and you need to understand why you are having those things. Now you need to put the first three tips that I suggested into your thoughts, and you need to analyze them. So the thoughts where you don't have any choices, you cannot resolve them, you need to understand that in those situations you do have a choice. The choice is either to practice gratitude, something related to that feeling, or you have the option to let go of that feeling because it no longer serves you well. And this mindfulness can actually make you learn how to be happier when you stop dwelling on these negative and useless thoughts and focus more on the positive side of things, the things that you can either control or you can use to process gratitude in your life. In moving out of all these tips and tricks, there will be more tools that we can use that we will be discussing in these episodes, and we'll talk about something that will help you come out of these issues. But for now, you need to know that the learning process in itself is a time-taking process, and part of learning of how to be happy with yourself comes with life experiences. So try to set and work towards achieving some goals. It can be small goals, small wins. We don't need to find major goals and achievements that takes time for you to accomplish. And achieving these goals can actually help you boost your confidence, and with it your sense of feelings and emotions too. So achieving happiness in reality. And then in conclusion, finding happiness is different for everyone. So if we start making a few small changes a day, we start developing and inculcating some emotions, some tools, some feelings every day that help us feel better. In the long run, it's going to affect how we think about things, how we talk about things, and how we actually feel emotions within ourselves. And over time, they become good habits which can teach us how to bring out the feeling of happiness in ourselves on our own choice at our own pace, and it can lead us to live a happier and healthier life.